Hello, you guys, and welcome to our Tuesday night class. I am so excited to share with you guys some fun, exciting things. Who here wants to boost their immunity? It's so important that we go into this season with our immunity boosted up, and so that we can really take and enjoy all that is offered between family gatherings, work parties, you name it. We have a lot going on, and it seems like once the windows start to shut, then there's all kinds of things that we can experience. So, you guys, I wanted to share with you guys first one of the reasons when I first got introduced to doTERRA, I was somebody who had suffered from different types of head tension. Some of them would put me literally in bed. And I remember I would just feel like this tightness in the back of my head. And then usually it would go up over the head to the crown, and then felt like I had a hat or something that somebody was tightening all the time. And I had no idea how many different over the counter things I was taking until one day I got a recall notice from Costco saying, you purchased X amount of these large jars of um, pills, and there's a recall. And then I was sitting here going, "Oh my gosh, I did not realize how many I had gone through." But it was just one of those things where, I would start to feel the tension, and I would just take the pills, and then it would be gone, and then I'd have a stomach ache, and the rest is history, you guys. And I'm so extremely grateful that our family has been able to learn about doTERRA. Our lives have changed. I love that we have this community that we can gather information from, that we can help each other out. And I also love the way that doTERRA continuously educates us in what we have and how to use it. So tonight, you guys, we're going to discover more from A to Z on Essential Oils 101. And then I've got some really great recipes. So make sure you stay till the end. And if you're watching the replay, have your cameras out, because you're going to want to do some screenshots. Okay, so first of all, it's like, why doTERRA? How does doTERRA stand out in the market? What makes us different? Well, everything from and we're going to talk about CPTG in just a minute, but we take and we find our plants where they are originally sourced, in the natural origin, where they're going to be the best quality. They're going to have more nutrients. The sun is going to be right, which, if we're having a plant that is happy and healthy, then that means that that's what it's going to give to us. Now, one thing about plants and sourcing is I like to tell people about, I mean, we live in northeastern Nevada, where we have every temperature from below freezing to super hot. And it's really hard for us to grow certain things. Like, we could never grow a lemon here. And if I did grow a lemon, what quality of lemon would it be? What would the quality of oil or juice come out of it, if I even got any? So it's really important that we go to the source of the natural origin where the plants grow. We also do ethically sourced growing and planting. I love that doTERRA does co-impact sourcing, where we buy from small farmers. It's not just huge um, farmers and corporations and things like that. They will, but what they'll buy, as long as the plant and the soil pass our extremely stringent standards, to make sure that there's no chemicals or pesticides and things like that. And also, one thing that I love about doTERRA is, because we are like one of the largest essential oil companies in the world, and because we also ethically source and want to make sure that people get real wages, we have 95% of our essential oil sourcing is proprietary, which means they're not selling to other people at the quality that we have. And I don't know about you guys, but if I'm looking at like a hamburger from McDonald's versus a hamburger that's grown on a ranch or something, I'm definitely wanting to have the one that is sourced and has everything in it that I want. Now, the next thing is, I love doTERRA's safety and testing. So every batch is of oil is tested. Not only at the very beginning do they test the soil and the plants and everything else, but once it's distilled or steam pressed out of a plant, then they also make sure that there's no no chemicals, no synthetics, no fillers. They test the oil all the way along the way to make sure that it is exactly what we want it to be in the bottle. So, which means if they put it into a storage container that might have had soap residue, well, that's not okay. So they'll test it again and find that residue, and they will no longer use that essential oil in our bottles because it has to be 100% pure. And so I love that. We also use an independent testing, and we do lots and lots of research to make sure that it is what it says it is. I also love that you can look at the bottle of or the bottom of every bottle and you can follow the code. You go to source2u.com and you put the code in and you can follow that bottle specifically back to when it was planted, where it was grown, when it was harvested and everything. So you guys, doTERRA doesn't hide anything. Everything is out there. It is an open book. Efficacy is really important also because not only is doTERRA highly effective, but it's also very concentrated, which means we can use one drop or two drops in some cases to solve whatever what we're working on. The larger bottles have 250 drops, which means that's hundreds of um, uses in each one of those bottles. Our oils also work on a cellular level. They're very, very fast working, which is very important to me. Back to my story, gosh, I could share stories with you guys all night long about, everything from, seasonal threats to body tension and different things going on to, when my eyes used to swell shut within about 4 or 5 minutes, then my throat would try to close. And what I love about using essential oils is I can take that essential oil, put it targeted wherever I need it, whether it's internal, topical, or if I just need to diffuse it, and I instantly get a result. I love that it's that quick and our body knows exactly what to do with it. Now, other things is they work on a cellular level and they communicate with our cell receptor sites and then send the messages where it needs to go. So, like I said, it's extremely effective and our bodies are very responsive and we get good results. Now, they are affordable. Sometimes I'll hear people say, as a matter of fact, today a gal was saying, "Oh, I bought peppermint oil from Amazon." And I'm like, "You did what?" And the first thing I said to her was, "Did you look at the label?" Because you guys, there's things that we need to look for to make sure that they are safe. Because what we teach in our classes, especially here live, or if you are a part of our VIP group, Good Vibes, we are only talking about doTERRA. And they are pennies per the dose, which I'm going to break down for you guys in just a second. We have really great testing done with them, and we get really good results with less use. And I can tell you, speaking for myself, that my family now it's only my husband and I at home, and it has saved us thousands of dollars in services that we would have been going to the pharmaceuticals or doctors for. Um, and the really exciting news for us is that the essential oil industry is expected to triple in the next 10 years. You guys, people are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and we want good results. How about you? Okay, so the doTERRA difference, every one of our bottles has the label CPTG on it, which is certified pure tested grade. We kind of went over that already, and I just want to remind you guys that, the things that are listed up here, because they are certified tested grade, you can use them topically, which means just putting them directly on your skin, aromatically, which is being able to put them in the air, smell them, diffuse them, put them on jewelry. And then my most exciting one that I love the most is that I can use them internally. Okay, so when we have two different ways to look at our approach to medicine. And there's a modern approach where it's produced by man. And I think there was a time, you guys, when everything was from the earth, and doTERRA is gift of the earth. And we started there, and it was so exciting because we could get what we needed, but it took a lot of time, it took a lot of resources. Not everybody has access to a frankincense tree. And so over time, what they did is they would take these plants and they would try to duplicate them or mimic them in coming up with something. And this is where they started to, make their own Tylenol and Advil and, different medications and things. There is over $6.5 trillion spent every year globally on healthcare. And I just want to look at we were super healthy and then now we've kind of cycled into a place where my belief is that we're not healthy right now. There's a lot of mental illness and there's a lot of people who are just sick. Kids are and people are sicker a lot younger too. When I was young, I don't even know if I knew anybody who had cancer of any kind. And now it's hard to, look across the table or around the room in a restaurant and not know that there's multiple people who are sick or affected right now. So the natural approach is, it's it's by nature, it's grown for a reason. And because of doTERRA's resources and our co-impact sourcing and being able to go to the natural resource and get these essential oils, we are able to not only get a better result, but we also go in and we can address the root cause instead of some of those modern approaches were just to mask it, just to put a Band-Aid on it. So, and I also love that the natural approach is safe, it's effective, and it's something that we can use with our entire household, regardless of age. Okay, so there are 3 questions that I get asked most oftenly, and one of them is, "Are they safe?" And "What's in the bottle?" So I talked a minute ago about, the gal who came in today, and she had purchased a peppermint on from Amazon, and the first thing I said is, "Did you look at the label and see if it was safe for you to take internally?" Because what she was at the store for was an internal use. And she goes, "No, I didn't." And I quickly told her, "Did you know that in order for an oil to be labeled 100% pure, it only has to have 6% of the pure oil in the bottle?" And that, who knows what the testing is on that bottle, but that 6% is not very much, and then they can fill the bottle with whatever else they want. The only thing that they have to do is put "not safe for internal or topical use." So what would keep something like peppermint from being used internally? Well, the first thing that pops into my head is, were there chemicals, synthetics? What was added to the plant? Did they use pesticides, herbicides, all those different things on it? And make it so that it was unsafe for me to be able to just pick from my garden and ingest. Or who knows if animals have been roaming through the peppermint plants or whatever. So what I love here is on the left-hand side of the screen, there is a label that is the supplement facts, which shows you that they are safe to take internally. Now, I also love that they are different because they're 100% pure. There's no risk of addiction. Now, addiction runs in my family pretty heavy, and this is one of the things that I was most attracted to. I have a son who went in for a root canal and came out using drugs, and it's been years and years and years of battling that he has dealt with that. So it's really important for me that he has those. They're all tested. They're not only the most tested, but they're also trusted by moms to be able to use. Now, on their left or on the right-hand side, there's a picture of these cute little girls who went to visit their grandma. And while they were at their grandma's, they were used to using lavender essential oil. Well, she had run out of doTERRA's and she had an old bottle, so she just grabbed it and put it on the chest of each one of them. And you can see that there were chemical burns that happened because of what was in the bottle. You guys, if there's nothing else that you take away from tonight's class, I want you to remember that it is important to find out what we have, how to use it, and the difference between doTERRA and so many things that are on the market. They don't have to give us any kind of warnings. They just have to say not to use internally or whatever. And so I really want you to be aware that ours are different. Okay, so a couple of things that you need to know is you don't want to put essential oils directly in your eyes, up your nose, or in your ears. They are way too potent and you just don't need them directly in the where the tissue is. One of my favorite things to teach is less essential oil more often. So when you heard me say it was like 1 or 2 drops, that's really all you need. And in some cases for littles, like our little animals or our little people, it's just touching the top of the bottle, maybe adding it to a little bit of carrier unscented lotion, and then applying that little small amount more often than taking it like a shaker bottle and shaking it into your hand and overusing it. You're not going to get a better result from 10 drops than you would from 2. Some of the essential oils are also hot, which means they're hot to put onto your skin. I remember years ago, a little one had her mom had an essential oil bag at her house, and the kids were used to going over and just grabbing what they needed when they wanted it. Well, she had cinnamon in the bag, and she usually had taken the hot ones out. Well, this little 2-year-old got to the bag, got the cinnamon, and even though she didn't get the lid off, it was on her hands, and then she wiped it on her face. Well, the first thing the mom did was call, and she's like, oh my gosh, do I need to call poison control? And I'm like, no, just get the fractionated coconut oil, put it on, and it will 100% tame that down. So within minutes, she was able to, take a deep breath, use the coconut oil, and the little one was able to have the redness go away. Some oils are hot, they're listed here. Use with caution. Don't be afraid to use them though. I mean, one of the things I had heard oregano was super hot. And so it kinda sat in the corner of my bag for about 9 months before I learned how to properly use it, and now it is one that I go to often because of how effective it is, especially in our immune system. Dilution. You guys, we have a new kid on the block, so we not only have fractionated coconut oil, which is really great because it's thin, it will not clog the pores. You can put it on topical, you could, use it to, have it go farther. I absolutely love it, and I don't remember if I said there's no scent, but we also have an unscented lotion, and now we have a brand new castor oil, which is more like the castor oil that your grandma used to have. It's really great. We're gonna be doing a class soon on that so you can learn more about it. And then there are some essential oils, the citrus specifically, that are photosensitivity, which means when you put them on your skin, you don't want to go out into direct sunlight. It could cause your skin to burn. Now you can put it on your skin and then wear a long sleeve shirt. You can also ingest it. You don't have to worry about it. But if you were to put drops of lemon on your cheeks and go outside into the sun, you're more likely to sunburn. Okay, so aromatic, topical, and internal. You guys, I want you just to kind of look at these real quick. We will be able to have a lot of questions or a time for questions and answers at the end of class. So make sure you guys stay on. But you guys, aromatic, I absolutely love being able to just drop a couple of essential oils into my hands, rub my hands together, cup it over my face, and just breathe it in. One of the reasons I love aromatic so much is not only am I getting the benefit of it, but if I'm using a diffuser, everyone in the classroom, everyone in the office, everyone around me is benefiting from that essential oil. You can take a mood. So say you're, at a hospital or you're dealing with somebody who's, a lot of people who are not feeling well. You can use essential oils that will help to motivate them and make them feel better just by diffusing. Topical is another really great thing. I love you guys that I can put it on my skin or on my body where it needs it most. So if I have something going on, maybe I've stubbed my toe, I can put that essential oil directly on my toe and get a great result that's instant rather than waiting for me to take some kind of a capsule or something and hoping that it makes it from my mouth all the way down to my toe. You can also use it to target different areas. And like I said, I love using one of our carriers, which is the castor oil, the coconut oil, or the unscented lotion, to be able to keep it into that area a lot longer. Now, the last and one of my favorites, like I've mentioned a couple times now, is internal. I absolutely love it because, the last few days I've had a little bit of a tickle going on, and I've also had like this pressure on my ears. And I not only applied the essential oils around both of the ears, but I put some in my mouth and held it so that it would help from the inside out. You guys, I love cooking with them. I love using them in veggie caps, and I love the ease of just putting it underneath my tongue. I've definitely become a huge advocate for internal use of essential oils. The second thing is, are they effective? You guys, this shows a picture of the cell, and the cell is protected by an outer membrane. Now, most things go to the cell, and like bacteria will just kind of hang out there, and it's not able to cross, or we're able to get something for a bacteria from the doctors. And in most cases, that gift that they, or the pill that they give us, or the prescription that they give us, keeps giving to us. And we have, and it doesn't, it goes in and it actually wipes out all of the flora, good and bad. So if there's a virus and you go to the doctor, and what does the doctor usually say? I mean, it's not live. So it's like, my own experience has been, oh, I'm sorry, but you can, drink chicken soup, go home, rest a lot, drink a lot of fluids, and you're going to have to wait and have it take its time. Well, their essential oils can penetrate over that outer membrane, go in, and what it does is it stops the production of the cell from duplicating and getting bigger and going on longer. So it actually is very effective. And so this is where using less essential oil more often, because how many of you guys have had something come up? You do what the doctor says, and they're always going, okay, 5 to 10 days, no matter what, you got to finish it out. But if you don't, then the little sneaky thing comes back after a few days because you feel better, and then pretty soon you're back down again. Well, the essential oils work the same way. So you want to really be diligent in being consistent and using that less more often. Now, on the bottom of this chart, you guys, there's oregano, which is like a natural antibiotic. Like, I use this so often, especially for anything that is when my body is really not happy. Frankincense, I've got a crown on it because it is the go-to oil. When in doubt, get that frankincense out. And then cinnamon bark. Cinnamon bark is very effective. Um, and I'm going to go on to the next screen. All right, you guys. So the last one is, are they affordable? You heard me earlier say, gosh, I had a series of allergies and different things, seasonal threats, itchy eyes, scratchy throat, my eyes were swelling shut, and I was able to use 2 drops of lemon, 2 drops of lavender, and 2 drops of peppermint. I would just put them underneath my tongue. I would drink a little water, swish it around, and I would instantly start feeling results. The other thing that I would do is I would just tap the top of the lavender bottle, and I would just kind of tap it around the outside eye socket. And by doing that, you guys, I could just feel my everything calming down. Like, there are 250 drops in a 15 ml bottle, and 1 or 2 drops is all you really need. I can tell you guys that just with what I was using over the counter for those itchy eyes and scratchy throat, um, saves me so much more what I was paying. Plus, I don't have to worry about side effects or addiction or any of those other things. One of the things I also like to put here is, if you look at the prices per drop, when you're using, 3 or 4 drops of a couple of different things, it can add up a little bit, but you're also getting something that is extremely effective. And I can't imagine not having these in my household on a regular basis. Okay, now this chart here, if you want to take a screenshot, go ahead. We're not going to go through each one of these, but these are doTERRA's top oils as far as firsthand reach, which means they're the ones that you go into for anything skin related, for any kind of anti stuff. Under oregano, it has, warts and skin tags and, irritated throat. Lavender is everything calming. And cortisol levels, you guys, it has been shown that by using it on a regular basis and diffusing it, it's able to lower those. It's a natural antihistamine. It not only comforts the skin from irritations, but it can also as comfort for, swelling and different things like that. I could go on and on, but I really want to talk about immunity. So we're going to go over to the next one. And I wanted to show you guys what it is that I love most about this time of year and being able to have this support of this dream team in my cupboard at all times. Now, On Guard I've got a list of all the products coming up in just a minute, but you guys, how many of you guys have reached to On Guard on a regular basis? As soon as I started feeling this, right, Kristen, it's like, as soon as I started feeling a little bit off, I was like, okay, down the throat, you know, on my throat, all these different places and different things, because it's so effective. It helps to support a healthy immune function against all of the different seasonal threats. I love that we have it in an oil, and I've got some recipes coming up in just a second. Now, who knew that arbor vitae would be on this list? Tammy's here tonight. Diane's raising her hand, and it's like, you guys, arbor vitae is really great, and to help also defend our bodies in that natural immunity. It's also an anti-oil. So when you're talking anti-C, the big C. What I love about it is nature, is it naturally protects itself. And so from, you know, and they also call it the fountain of life oil too, because of the way that it helps to support us. A while back, this couple of years ago, I had a spot on my left cheekbone that was starting to, it was like small. It's probably about the size of an eraser, and it got a little hard right there, and it started, you know, forming a spot that was a little sensitive. It was it didn't change colors, but I could really feel it. So I started to dilute the arbor vitae. I added it to some coconut oil and putting it on my skin every single day, and whatever it is gone, which I'm so grateful for. And then we're going to go to Melissa. You guys, Melissa is one of the highest antiviral essential oils that you can get. A lot of times I'll hear people say that they use it for, you know, sores on their mouth, sores on their lips. I love it the way that it boosts my, not only my immunity, but it helps to boost my mood when it's colder and it's cloudy and it's, you know, snowing outside. Is I'll just take a drop of it on on my thumb and put it in the roof of my mouth, and it's amazing how it changes everything for me. It's like the light just comes on. Melissa is something that is in our On Guard Plus gel caps because of the way that it helps to boost our immunity. Now we've got thyme and oregano. You guys, these two kind of go hand in hand, in my opinion, with the way that they help to support us. Now think anything throat, chest for thyme, and anything for the rest of the body for oregano. And I do use them differently. So sometimes I'll rotate them back and forth. They are, what I'm going to say, are the big boy pants. You got to wear, if you're going to wear them, or if you're going to use them, you got to have those big boy panties on, because I don't know if big boys wear panties, big girl panties. They are hot. They're hot to touch. So when I talk to people about using them, if they're not putting them in a capsule, or if they're not putting them, you know, using them in different ways, I always say, take the lid off and use your pinky to touch the top of the bottle, because you're less likely to get it on any other parts of your skin, which could cause the irritation. Just remember, you guys, don't be afraid to use these powerhouses. They are very effective. Now on the bottom right-hand side, it goes into oregano, and kind of, you know, it helps to strengthen our body's natural defense in being able to support us in different things that are happening. It gives some ideas of being able to add it to veggie caps. I know Diane is here, and she makes a blend up and keeps it in like a little, I think it's a repurposed bottle, and then she carries empty veggie caps. Anytime anybody's not feeling 100%, she'll get it out and she drops a few drops in and has you swallow it. And it's really amazing how quickly it can be affecting your immunity and boosting what you're going through. Now, you guys, okay, we're going into the recipes now. You'll definitely want to take some screenshots. We do something called spiced honey. We've been making it here for about, I'm going to say 5 or 6 years. We're getting ready to do a local workshop tomorrow night where we're going to be making this here in person. But you know what I love about honey is it's a great carrier for when you're wanting to get the support internally. It not only helps to coat and soothe, so if you've got a scratchy, irritated throat, it will help to coat that. When you have natural honey, or not natural honey, when you have local honey to your area, it can also help to support your immunity and your antihistamines and things. So back to the lemon, lavender, and peppermint, you can always add that to your honey, stir it up really good. Now, when I make spiced honey, what I do is I warm the honey in a double boiler, and as soon as it starts to thin out a little bit, then I'll add the essential oil. I'll take it off the heat, add the essential oils, and then I really make sure I stir it up good, and then I'll put it in different containers. This one is our immune boosting blend, which you'll see has cassia. So it helps, it's not only warming and comforting, but it helps with your immunity. Ginger, which helps with digestion. So when we are, I'm going to kind of pick on this time of the year, the seasons when people are out more, we're working late, we're around a lot of people that may have, itchy, scratchy throat, there might be coughing and all that kind of stuff. And it seems like our immunity goes down. So it's really important to be able to have some of these things that will give us that extra uh, umph. We also put clove in this blend because clove is one of the highest antioxidants that helps to fight against free radicals. You guys, it's also good for our littles. Like if you have somebody who has, is teething or has their braces tightened or whatever it is, this whole blend would be really great to just kind of put in your mouth. And I'm going to think anyone who knows about oil pulling, one thing that I'll do is I'll take like a half a teaspoon of this spiced honey, I'll put it in my mouth, and then I'll just kind of swish it around for a minute, like not even a minute, maybe 10 or 15 seconds, and then I'll swallow it. And it's super awesome. So, all right, you guys, so we've got that. And then the next recipe is the balm. Now, how many of you guys here are familiar with our Symphony of Cells protocol or applications? So this one was created after the ID protocol. And you'll notice that it has both thyme, oregano, it has aroma touch, because there are times, you guys, when our body needs to get things moving and get the circulation going, and if it's holding on to something, we want it to keep going, right? So that's where aroma touch is in there. We've also got lemongrass, tea tree, peppermint, and that Melissa. This one it's mainly for respiratory support. I love the balm because I'll apply it over the chest, front and back. And like I said, a little bit goes a long ways. And so sometimes for smaller children, I might roll it on my fingertips and then put it, down the back of their spine. I'll also roll a little bit on my fingers and maybe rub their little feet. But if they're congested and having something going on in their chest, I will put some on my fingers and I'll just kind of rub it in, and then I'll put it on the back of them. And then something you could do is add a heat pack. I love taking a washcloth and I'll lay it down, and then I'll take a really hot, damp washcloth, lay it on top, because that moisture and that heat will just penetrate those oils deeper and deeper and be very effective. Something you could also do with this is put this on before you get into a hot, steamy shower, and then just make sure that, that steam is hitting you and it's breaking things up. Don't be surprised if sometimes when people put these on, they will have like a coughing reaction. And that's exactly what we want to do, is we want to break things up and get things moving. This blend, you guys, is amazing. You can also take and just do a one drop of each one and put it in a capsule, leave out the aroma touch, put that in a capsule, and you could take that internal also. Okay, next is our immune boost, and you'll see that the oils in this one are a little bit the same, but also different. This is one that you guys might have heard of, the flute or flume or whatever. So hers is immune boost. I use this a lot. So again, just recently when I was starting to feel that little tickle going on, I took this roller, because it's not in my chest, it's right up here in my throat and my ears. So I went up from my ear, I kind of went around the outside of my ear, down across my underneath my chin, back up to the other ear and around that ear. Now, if that's a bit. So then I would take my hands and I just kind of massaged in the oil. As a matter of fact, I have some on right now. And you guys, within seconds, I can start to feel things shifting in my ears. So 2 days ago, my ear felt like I had an ear pod in it, and I did not. And it was one day later, I could still hear out of it just fine, but one day later it was okay. Well, then it went to this my other ear, and so I continued to do both ears regardless of which one, and on today's the 3rd day, and my ears are perfectly fine. You guys can, this is diluted to where everyone in your household can use it. Again, you could roll it down the spine, you could go on the bottoms of the feet. I have a friend whose children are allergic to eggs or something, and so they can't have those shots that happen that start with a F. And she's like, and I'm like, "That's actually a really good thing." So she keeps an immune boost roller by their toothbrush holder, and they put that on this time of year. Every time they brush their teeth, they put it on, and it has kept them out of the doctor's office, which is our ultimate goal. So I told you I had a slide that had On Guard and Abode. So we have 2 products, you guys, that are very, very effective in supporting the On Guard is for our body, everything in our body, and then the Abode is everything in our home. So, you know, everything from the chewable tablets. So I'm just going to go over a couple of the items and give you what I love most about them. So the On Guard chewable tablets, I love. They came out about 2019 when all that stuff was going on, and they have added vitamin C, and zinc. So this one is one that you just put in your mouth and you kind of suck on it a little bit. I find that when somebody is having a coughing fit and they put one of these in their mouth, it completely takes it away. They just can kind of suck on it. So it's something that if I'm traveling or on an airplane or something, I will always have those with me. There's also soft gels, which is everything On Guard plus Melissa, black pepper, and oregano. So back to that shot that people get sometimes, this would be all of that boost and benefits for your body in a capsule. Again, if I'm getting ready to be around people, maybe I'm going into, you know, a restaurant or I'm traveling on a plane or something, I will put one in my mouth and swallow it or I chew them up before I do to give my body that extra boost of support before it gets exposed to something else. You guys, we have everything from hand sanitizing mist, throat drops, which are another one of my favorites. There's On Guard foaming hand wash. Now, what I love about the hand wash is it doesn't have to be rinsed off. So I found very small pumps. I think they're like probably 2 ounces maybe, and it has a little foaming pump on the top of it that I will have where I am. Like there's one in my car. I have this in my survival kit in my car. And what's great is I can, you know, put it on my hands no matter what my hands are getting exposed to. You know, this would be great to have in your purse when you get ready to go to the grocery store or, you know, heaven forbid you have to go to the doctor's office or something. Make sure you're doing all of the things, being proactive to use these things before you get something. Once you get something, you guys, then the key is going to be being diligent on using it more active, less more often. And just like if the doctor prescribed it, for at least 5 to 7 days after you're feeling 100%, you need to keep using it. And then the abode line, you guys, is just around your house, right? So you're going to want to have it on your counters and your bathrooms. And I use the dish washer pods. I use the laundry pods. I'm obviously a fan of these lines, and I love it because they're non-toxic. These are things that I can use around my dog, my pets. I'm getting a grandbaby soon, and I'm like, I'm so grateful that I have things that if she were to get into it, I'm not going to have to call poison control. Okay, so here's one of my favorite all-purpose cleaners. I've been using this cleaner for about 12 years. I use this for everything. So what I think is really fun is when I go grocery shopping or my husband does, I'll throw all of the fruits and vegetables in the sink, plug it, fill it up with water, and then or first I spray it. I take all of it, I throw it in there, I spray it with this all-purpose cleaner, and then I fill it up with water and I just sit and let it rinse and rinse and I keep moving it around. You guys would be amazed at how much stuff comes off of that stuff that says it's already been cleaned and it's safe. I can go from cleaning my kitchen cabinet to cleaning my fruit to, you know, cleaning the counter in the bathroom, and it's all perfectly safe for everything. You'll notice on this recipe, It is for a 32-ounce spray bottle. If you want to cut that in half, you can just, cut it whatever size you want. I have 1/4 cup vinegar or vodka. You guys, this is the part that is the drying agent and the disinfectant part. When I use vodka, because I don't like the smell of vinegar, I buy the cheapest, highest grain alcohol that I can get, and I usually buy it by the gallon because I make this all-purpose cleaner in a huge gallon, and then we just refill, refill, and refill. This would be a really great gift to give to people during the holidays. You can make, repurpose some of those 15 ml bottles and give it to all your friends. I have a friend who, she cleans their office with it because she doesn't want her employees to get sick. She also makes On Guard apples. So she'll take a couple of apples and slice them up into slices, fill it with water, and put a couple of drops of On Guard oil in there. You stir it up and you let it sit for, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, then you can drain the water off. And then the apples have been infused with those essential oils to help boost immunity. Well, she'll come in the morning, she just gives little Dixie cups of apples to everybody, and people are like, "Oh, they're so good." And she thinks, she's being all nice. Well, she's also wanting to keep her staff happy and healthy. Who wants sick days, right? All right, so the last recipe for us tonight, because we are in that season where we have pumpkins, is you can make your own natural spray inside your pumpkin. So once you cut it open and you get all the seeds out, you can take tea tree or On Guard, just add a couple of drops to some water, spray it inside there, carve it, let it dry, and then it will prevent your pumpkins from going bad as fast. I think this is really fun because, gosh, if you're going to do all that work, you want it to last, right? All right. So I'm going to just touch really quick on, I would be doing a disservice here if I didn't talk about our foundational wellness and how important it is for us. Essential oils are amazing and I love them and I can't imagine my life without them, but I even am more so in love with our foundational wellness. This is our Lifelong Vitality, which is our Microplex VMZ, our Omega Plus, and our Alpha CRS. You guys, this is everything that you need to just feel better and have that long life of vitality. Now, doTERRA also has introduced us to something new, a new kid on the block. This is VMG. This has over 90 micronutrients. It has our vitamins, our minerals, whole foods, whole vegetables. You couldn't possibly eat in a day or probably a week or a month all of the fruits and vegetables that are in there for us. One thing that's really great about VMG is it's a bioavailable for our bodies to keep pulling from for energy and mind support and cellular support for up to at least 8 hours during the day. And our omega, you guys, it is so much more than just a fish oil. I use these every day. I swallow two and chew one every morning, and I swallow two and chew one every night. I know that's a lot. Most people only take two or three, but I am 100% working on a healthy heart and a healthy brain. And so that's the way that I am supporting it. It has got so much in there that is good for our bodies, and I love that it's from the Nordic seas. There's other fish companies or essential oil companies, omega oil, fish oil companies, sorry, that have that claim. But you guys, we test ours all the way back to on the bottom of every bottle. Remember, you can go to where it was sourced and you can see exactly the testing that was done on it. And then, of course, gut health is a really big, very important. Of course, we want our heart and our brain to function really well. And our third is our gut. We need to have a healthy gut with good biome in there so that we can feel better, sleep better, have less illness. And it's just such an amazing product. I love it. Okay, you guys, this is another just real quick. I want to show you guys there's all kinds of really great rewards that we get. If you're on our rewards program, every month, if you order either the foundational wellness or 125, you get a free product, which is one of our top 12 essential oils. These are the ones that people reach to most often for everyday things, and it helps to give us the support. Now, the first time that you purchase the wellness bundle, you will receive that cute little shaker bottle that's down in the right-hand corner, plus a 5 ml of peppermint. You guys, I use mine. It sits by my bathroom sink, and I do it every single day. I think that if it was in the kitchen, there might be days when I get in a hurry and I might forget, but this way it's right there. I see it. I've got a little glass bowl that has some of the other things in it that I just mix it up and I just drink it and I love it and I feel better. You guys, our reward system is how most people purchase. Now you can buy a one-time random whenever you want, anything you want, and you can still get the wholesale pricing. But when you do rewards, you can order one thing and you can get all kinds of different benefits and up to getting your shipping for free. You can earn free product. I absolutely love that it's flexible. You change what ships, when it ships, where it ships, or you can just set it and forget it and let it go. I love free. I love getting deeper discounts, and this is how. If you guys have questions about this, make sure you reach out to the person who invited you here and make sure you're getting all of the benefits that are due to you. All right, these are just a few helpful tips. Be consistent. If you're working on something and you want a different result, you have to be consistent. You can't use it once in a while and be upset when you didn't get the result you wanted. There's many, many times when somebody will say, "Oh, well," I'll say, "Gosh, how is it working? Did you like it? Or are you getting the result you wanted?" And they're like, "Well, no, I don't think it's working." And I'm like, "Well, when did you use it?" "Well, I haven't used it for a while. I used it last week once." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you have to use it to get it, right?" Develop a routine. Put things in your household where you're going to use them. If you want On Guard beadlets in your purse, then put them where you're going to have them handy. The throat drops, um, the chewables. I mean, all of these things, you guys, I have staged around to where if they're in my desk drawer, my car, my bathroom sink, when they're visible, you will remember them. You guys discover and use our resources. We have Good Vibes, which hopefully all of you guys have wholesale memberships with us, and you are a part of our VIP education Facebook page. We do so many different trainings. We have things that are constantly on there. You can always use the search bar. So if you're going, wait, she said something about castor oil. What is that all about? You guys just put castor oil in that little search bar, and it's going to come up with all kinds of things that you can already get started and know what to do. And then lastly, you guys, purchase at the best price. Our job here is to help you save money, to help you learn how to use what you have and be very effective and very efficient with how to do it. When you hear me say use less more often, you would think I'd be saying the opposite. Use more less often, use it, use it, use it. But that's not how this works. We want you to be happy with what you have. And then, of course, we always have you can share and you can earn. We have so many different referral programs. If you're somebody going, I don't want to do what she does, like I want to be able to just use the product, well, you can do that too. And what I love is people want to purchase from people that they know, love, and trust. And so every one of us, you too, if you have an account, when you open up your account and you log in, there's a little uh, tab that has a link that you hit that little copy, you can share that with anyone you know, and when they open it up and purchase, you get rewarded. You guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will open up for some uh, questions and answers if you guys have any. You can stay connected to us by texting class reminder or class reminders to the phone number 534-429-5392. We also put these recordings up on our YouTube, which is at Haley B Essentials 4277. If you're here local, you guys, we are doing in-person classes and workshops every Wednesday. Here is a list of our Wednesday workshops. We did sniffers already. Between our Wednesday class and our event last Saturday, we sold out of all of our jars, which is really exciting. Thought that was fun. And this Wednesday, October 15th, we'll be doing our spiced honey bears. So if you can make it, we would love to have you there. If you know somebody who's in the area, make sure you invite them. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna stop the recording so that we can go into our Q&A. That's part of the bonus of being here with us live.